Here we are, everyone, our last exponent rules. Then we will change topics, finally, right? Well, there's a lot to cover here, and I told you that. But anyway, here we go. So, 0 exponent. Anything to the 0 power equals 1. That seems a little strange. I'm about to show you why. A lot of people answer that equals 0, which it's not. So, we probably all know that a number over itself is equal to 1, because that just means division, right? Sure. The same goes here when they're x's. So I wrote them out, x to the fourth, and if you cross them out, you'll see everything cancels to 1. But think back to the subtraction rule. If you subtract exponents, 4 minus 4, you get 0. So 0 power is the same as everything canceling out. It's just something you have to remember. 0 power equals 1. Okay, but that's really not what we're working on. I just had to mention that one. This was the one, the last one we look at. Negative exponents. So it's going to seem a little strange, but things are going to be moving around today. So if you have a negative exponent, you put that, whatever it is, x, y, a number, in the denominator, and you make it positive. If it's already negative in the denominator, you take it out and make it positive. And if you're thinking, what? Well, we're going to look at some examples. Now, there are a few examples. I had to cut the paper here. And I made these examples look just like what the assignment looks like. Okay, and again, this is blurry. There's really nothing I can do. Try to focus it, but it just does what it does. So that says r to the negative 6th. You cannot leave anything with a negative exponent. It's not considered to be simplified. So if it's a negative exponent, I'm going to make it a positive exponent in the denominator. I'm done. That's it. So things are just moving. Okay, you're really not adding or subtracting any exponents. It's really just moving things around. Okay, so let's go over to 2. It's negative in the denominator. I need to write it positive. And actually, you could do that if you wanted. Put it over 1, but you don't have to. But you really put it in the numerator. But if there's nothing in the denominator, you can leave it at 1. So we're just going to go through these. Again, you should be writing these down too. You can pause the video because this is going to look like your homework. I made sure of that. Okay, number 3. X has a positive exponent. Y has a negative exponent. So X will not move, but Y must move to the denominator. And if you're thinking, what denominator? It's not even a fraction. Everything kind of sits over that invisible 1. So the y is going to move down. The x is just going to stay right where it's at. And when I move the y down, I make the exponent positive. Okay, so on we go. Number 4, x has a negative, y has a negative exponent, z has a positive exponent. Very similar to this one. These two are going to move under the z into a denominator. So z, because it has a positive 1 there, will stay on top. X and y will move to the bottom. And you can put the 1 there if you want, the positive 1. That's up to you. Okay, number 5, if I see a fraction, I draw a fraction bar usually. 4 has a positive exponent. Numbers have exponents. But it's positive. It stays on top. M, positive 5, stays on top. Negative. This is going to move up and sit with these two. And if you think, well, what's in the denominator now? Nothing. Well, a 1. You can put that over 1. Again, you don't have to. It's still right without it. Number 6, 11 has a positive exponent. Stay on top. And again, remember, everything's kind of a fraction like that. A has a negative. Put it on the bottom. It's 11 over a to the third. Don't forget to change them to positive. That's the whole idea here. Number 7 looks a lot like number 5. The number has a positive exponent. Y is a positive exponent. They stay on top in the numerator. T is going to move up there with them. 5, y, t to the second. Again, you can put that over 1 or just leave it alone. Okay, so don't flip-flop everything. Only move something. It says it right here. Only move items that have a negative exponent. That's why the 5 and the y stayed on top. Okay, look at 8. They both have negative exponents. Then they both move. They really just trade places. N goes here. M goes there. Done. Okay, last two, nothing different. Number 9, I'll draw a fraction bar and just look. Negative exponent. You already know x will go on the bottom. Y, negative exponent. Y will go on top. 4, positive exponent. 4 is going to stay on the bottom. So here we go. 4 we know stays. I'll just put that in first. The two variables, now it looks like number 8. The two variables trade places because they both have negative exponents. Not anymore. And I believe 10 is very similar. Positive exponent for 6. Positive exponent for m, I mean. You know, a lot of people think this has something to do with that. It doesn't. This exponent is only for the n. Everything has its own exponent. So, positive exponent, positive exponent. 6 and m stay right where they're at. Who do you think's moving? The n and the r. So the r will bounce up here, and the n will move down here. And of course, I'm keeping track of my exponents, and I'm making them positive. Okay, do your best. This is what the assignment looks like. At the top are just a couple of examples. Then it actually starts here, 1 and 2. And again, these will look just like what we did in the examples. Do your best, and as always, contact me if you have any questions. All right then, until next time, good luck.